Right, I have done this presentation before, so apologies if you have seen this before. Can I make a couple of statements first of all, and this doesn't count as being 2 minutes, thank you. I don't do jokes, so you don't have to worry about me repeating the same jokes, which Chris actually did, word for word the same jokes. And I haven't got anything about, against baldness. Simon will joyfully tell you that I'm starting to kind of lose my crown at the back a little bit. And before you heckle this, Simon, just a preemptive penfold. Right. This is about big mistakes, or how to make children cry. I teach Create, which is a subject where we combine music, media and drama through trans-disciplinary projects. And this is the first thing that I do with my kids. They're Year 7 kids. The first thing they do is they come to me and we do a challenge. And before I start, there's an old adage that you should give kids an early taste of...
Cake.
No. Can anybody finish that sentence?
Failure.
Cheese.
Well, yes, failure, yes, I completely agree. I was always told during my PGC you should give kids an early taste of success, and then I came to realise that actually that's exactly right. You need to give kids an early taste of failure. And what I do, I kind of clandestinely plan a lesson where I set the kids up to fail. So I set this task, give 20 minutes to create an animal using your newspaper. They've got a pile of newspaper on the desk and sellotape. And the winning group will be the group that is most creative. And this is the first thing they do in Year 7. They come in and go, yes, this is amazing. We can do what we want. And they make these fantastically beautiful tortoises and giraffes and horses. And they're absolutely amazing. But all of those groups will fail. And I don't share that with them at the start. And in fact, once I tell them that they've failed, they're irate, absolutely irate. And because I've been a bit sneaky and I haven't shared with them the success criteria. So they come back to me and they say, well, what do you mean we failed? And actually, there might be a couple of groups who've came to me and said, sir, can you make up your own animals? And I say to them, yes, you can. And if you do, you'll win. But don't tell anyone else. And then they go, oh, this teacher's weird. But I'm going to do it. And then they go off and you kind of see them whispering to the tables. And actually, if you graph the kids' response to me over the course of the lesson, it's kind of like my fringe, because they're kind of, this is great. And then they go, I could pretend that my fringe is some kind of retro throwback of the 90s, but it's just an excuse.
Comb over.
Well, no, it's not a comb over. I'll only go and get my hair cut if my wife books a hair appointment. But it does, they kind of hate me after about half an hour. You can see in the classroom there, I can't believe it. And then I say, well, why do you think you failed? And actually, the first question was a bit of a crap question, to be honest, because what do I mean? Do I mean which is the best comb over in the photographs? Or do I mean which is the best photograph? Is it the composition of the photograph? Is it the colours of the photograph? And what the hell do I mean by the word best? So when I'm talking about the most creative newspaper, what the hell do I mean by creative? So these kids who come to me and say, can we invent animals? And we have a little shared secret. That's why they win. And the kids are up in arms. And if the lesson finished there, fair enough, that would be, horrendous. But the kids then, whoa. It's the...
Talk fast.
Let's get them
Switch it off and switch it back on again. So they then have a chance, and I say to them, okay, I want you to make a creative thinking map. Can you reflect on what you did do in the first challenge and tell me the steps that you took, and then can you tell me the steps that you should have taken? And then we make a creative thinking map, and I say to the kids, right, you've got 20 minutes, off you go and make a map of your thinking, or what your thinking should have been like, and the most creative will win. And they go, whoa! What do you mean by creative? And then I go, yeah. So we unpack that and we say, okay, maybe it should have a theme, maybe it should have some colours. And they do write some pretty kind of intuitive things. I'll just zoom in a little bit, because they talk about some quite complex things. Dave, can you run that ActiveX for us? So they're saying some quite complex things like, we need to choose an idea, but beyond that, we need to think about what we're being asked to create. And I like this group because they put the rocket all over the point where they're saying you need to check how well you're doing at all stages during the process. And it's quite a kind of intricate thing that they're doing here of kind of metacognition, of thinking about what they're thinking should have been, and at the same time following the steps that they should have been following while they're making the map about the steps that they did follow and should have followed. And they're amazing. And all groups pretty much succeed at that and do a great job. So we then come back at the end of the lesson. Can you just stick that on for us again, Dave? Actually. Dave, you do it. You're the man. So we come back at the end of the lesson anyway, and we unpack it and we say, okay, you'll have to click off the kind of slide, I think. There you are. And we unpack it and we say, you know, what have we learned about making mistakes, and we should celebrate failure, and you know, if we don't make any mistakes then we never learn. And then one class, my first class when I first started doing this, there was a kid there whose mum actually taught at this school, and he was crying at the back, and I thought, oh, you know, you like to think of yourself at the start of your year as, you know, I am the lighthouse in the classroom, I know everything that's going on, and this kid was crying at the back, and I thought, oh Jesus, and I'm going to have to speak to his mum, and his mum used to teach here, and there's been some bullying or something. So I said to the lad, I was like, do you want to come and talk to me in the office quickly and just explain what it is? And he said to me, kind of in floods of tears, it goes against everything I've ever been taught. And that, for me, with that class, was an early taste of success. So thank you very much. I guess a couple of things at stake are A, thinking about the quality of our instructions, B, actually including students in the setting of success criteria and unpacking that and discussing that, and 3, do we give students an opportunity to make mistakes in our classroom, and do we celebrate that? Thank you.